Well, I'm back. The plaster's dried, and we are going to try to color some of this rocks and put some basic ground textures down. So let's get started. For coloring the rocks, I use acrylic. Raw umber is what I usually use. Burnt umber, a little bit of black. I wait and see how things go, and I do mix it with water, so it's more of a wash. It's not painting anything on. The rest of the regular contour here will be just straight paint. Like at a craft store, you can use whatever you have. That's what I have handy today. So I've got some raw umber, and I use a pie plate. And we'll see how this is going to take it. I never know. Because we have to go back and put shadows in. I need some more water already. What I do is I just spray on this. And the biggest problem with this is getting it up underneath the rock crevices. You got to kind of work it in. I gave everything just a coat of this wash. For the dirt down here, I'm just putting in, this is, I'll tell you in a minute, it's close to earth. Let it run with the raw umber a little bit. This is just giving us a coloring in here. Because it's going to get covered, this is just covering up the white, this is going to get covered with dirt. Anyway, just want to get rid of the white plaster. What I've been painting is kind of like the way it's just turning out. This is golden brown, I got in Michael's, in the raw umber, and I just let the paint and it mix together. So you get a little darker brown with a little bit of lighter, and just painting the plaster. We just got to get rid of the white. I'll go back in a few minutes and we'll go over those rocks and do something with them here. Now what I'm doing is I'm going back over with raw umber, and we're putting in some shadows. It's the same family, just a little bit darker. It's a wash too. Kind of dab it on here, just lightly. So I was going to come back, a little bit of white, or maybe a little yellow ochre, and or as I've been doing lately, I've been using dirt almost as a medium itself. Got some white spots down there. That's the only problem is you gotta kind of get down there and look and up underneath, especially if you're gonna take a picture of it. Make sure you got them all, because they will show up. And like this is gonna get covered with dirt. I'm not worried about that. There's some ground foam. This is Pennsylvania. Everything's green. So, except in the summer months, in the winter months, everything's gray. But this is late summer for us. On the railroad, everything's still green. Okay, what I'm doing now, I have Pennsylvania grade A dirt in my father-in-law's backyard. Scenic Express sells dirt, which I think is owned or made by Smith and Son out of Ohio. It's just same color. I run mine through a food processor, then to get it real fine, and then through a pantyhose. So what I'm doing now is just dusting the dirt on the rock, and I'm going to get a finer brush. Went back over it with alcohol and India ink. I'm going to let that dry a little bit, and I may have to do a little bit of touching up on the rock itself, and then we're going to go to the other side. Same thing, raw umber, putting the wash on again. The trick is to get both rocks, because it's on the same piece of ground here, be close to being the same coloring. As long as you reverse both steps, you should be okay. But then I've seen rocks be 10 feet away and be two totally different colors too. Especially if you go down through West Virginia. What I'm doing here is I'm just taking a little bit of the raw umber full strength and hitting the faces. Plaster's taking a little bit different than that plaster down there. That plaster's one day older than what this is, so the coloring is taking a little bit different. Put the dirt on it anyway, so this is it. Dirt with Dorm's water putty again. I ended up using a bigger brush this last time on the other piece of rock, and I wasn't real happy with it, so I went to a smaller brush. And my brush is getting wet. I need to put a little bit of shadow in this with the burnt umber. So I see some spots here. Hit this a little bit this way.